Hi guys, welcome. This is the Ratrace seatosummit Wyddfa or Snowdon ultramarathon race video. Now, these videos that I make are intended to show future participants what it's like to run one of these events. These events do represent quite a financial investment, quite an investment in time and training. So it's important for those people that are on the fence or a little bit nervous about sort of running into a surprise, what to expect on the day, what it really looks like, how hard is it in reality. So the Ratrace seatosummit series, if you're not quite sure, if you've not seen any of my other videos, is a series of 3 ultramarathons held at the highest peaks in Scotland, England and Wales: Ben Nevis, Scafell Pike and Snowdon. And the idea is you do one at a time, and these are significant efforts. So we're talking 29 to 34 miles, we're talking 6,000 to 7,000 foot of ascent at each of these locations. And they're all held sort of towards the end of the year, between sort of the end of August and the start of October. So they're held quite close together in proximity. Now, I've already done 2 of these, so this is the 3rd one. We've done Ben Nevis and we've done Scafell Pike, and both of these events have represented an enormous amount of graft. Really hard work, certainly from someone who isn't an ultramarathon runner, someone that doesn't do this thing often, and I do not consider myself good at it. So but I do come at it from that kind of perspective. There's plenty of people that enter these events that are similar to me, that are stepping up into this sort of sport for the first time, and that's why these videos are important, because I get to show you what it's all about. Now, I'm not going to jibber jabber any longer. I think I've said enough. I'm going to hand over to myself, that's probably at the start line by now in Caernarfon. This race starts at 6 AM in the middle of October, so it is likely going to be dark for the next couple of minutes of footage. Let's go see what this race actually looks like and get this trilogy done. Good morning everybody, I am here at Caernarfon, ready and set to go on the Ratrace seatosummit Snowdon ultramarathon. This is the last event of 3. I'm very keen to get to the end and get my 3-part trilogy medal. It is cold, it is dark, the weather forecast for today is all over the place. A bit of sun, a bit of rain and a bit of snow and lots of wind. 33 miles, about 7,000 foot of ascent, several mountains, Snowdon. When today is done though, it is done, it is finished. I get that trilogy medal, I'm coming for you. Right, let's get to the start line.
Well over 90 miles over the 3, over 17,000 feet of ascent. Stand by, wave number 1!
Alright, is everybody ready?
We are. 3, 2, 1. Off you go, wave number 1! Let's go, wave number 1.
I don't know where I'm going. Okay, here we go gang, here we go. The first mile is pretty much access road from the sort of peninsula. Not that I can see much of it because it's so dark right now. Okay, so that is the first 5 miles. It's gone really quick actually. Mostly road. Sun is coming up now and finally put the torch away. I just wish they were serving breakfast. Okay, 9 miles. Now when you tell people you're doing an ultramarathon over Snowdon, they're like, yeah, I've done Snowdon, went up the pit track or whatever, starting from the car park, which is about halfway up the actual height. In addition to the 26 miles I've got to do before I get to Snowdon, I've got to get over that guy. And it's about 2,500 feet. One of the things that I'm dealing with today, and a lot of people dealing with today, is temperature. Like, how do you keep yourself from getting too cold? That's the worst thing. So I was freezing on the start, so I had all my clothes on. Within 2 miles I was baking, so I had to take my fleece and my waterproofs off. And now, as I gain height, I can feel the cold creeping back in. I've definitely been up this road before. I think they've copied and pasted a little bit from the Van V mountain course. Approaching pit stop 1 at That's a whopping 11 miles. That's felt like a long way. Going through the slate mines, the old slate mines. Look at this. I think dwarves work these hills. I think this is the there's a doorway here to Kazakh Dune somewhere. Look at this. A tuck shop. Pit stop one. I've changed my mind. I want to be sponsored by Cadbury's, specifically Freddo's. So Cadbury's, if you want to sponsor a rat racer, get in touch. There she is, Snowdon. We're just going to get over this little one first. She's got rid in the clouds. Magnificent mountain though to look at. The ascentometer on my watch is going up fast now, and it's getting cold. While I'm working, while I'm going uphill, I'm still keeping warm, but the second I summit and the effort goes down, heart rate goes down, you get cold. See? Summit. See? And summit. See this bit? See this bit here? That's where the contour lines get really close together. It's like, oh, whoop, straight on the top. Sweet baby Jesus. This hill keeps going and going and going. I think there's some good views behind me. I've never been a big fan of the downhills because they hurt my knees, but I have got some stuff in my bag to wrap my knees, like elasticated stuff, so I might do that as a way of trying to preserve them. So, just had a bit of a fall and it's hurting quite a lot. I just need to take a second, I think. Fucking hell. Okay. About half a mile back, coming down there, lots of like white rocks as you're coming down. I stood on one, slipped, and my leg went backwards and my knee bashed on the rock, and I was left with my leg underneath me, and it felt very painful at the time, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get down this hill, let alone go up Snowdon. It's literally stunning scenery no matter which way you look now. It's amazing. Desperately try not to fall over again, but if I do, at least it's on film this time. Taking my time down this bit is bullshit. Just watch someone else fall down this. Let's go! It's past 15 miles and we're now we're just coming around the back of Snowdon. The ranger path is just there, and we have taken sort of a right, so we're going around the base. Here I was thinking I was going to keep my feet dry for one of these. Nope. Nope. Okay, this bit's very slaty. I'm at 16.5 miles. That's the halfway point on this race. Hurt my knee about 4 miles back coming down Moel Eilio, and I kind of feel like a World War II bomber that's dropped its bombs and it's on its way home. It's still over enemy territory, but its engines are on fire, at least 2 of them, and it's limping back a bit slower than the other bombers, but it's trying. There's no good way. There's no good way. This is the way. This is the way. Oh! That was an up to the knee job. Yikes. I'm worried that I'm just going to sink up to my neck and no one will find me. Just come out of pit stop 2 at 17 miles and we're all flat now. Give my knees a rest for a minute. It's about 20 miles now. Just a half marathon to go, right? Oh, and Snowdon. It's a bit nice round here. Look at this. This place is beautiful. I'm not sure where all the bad weather was predicted. I've probably jinxed it now, haven't I? Okay, that is 25 miles. So we're coming up on pit stop 3, which is my last chance to potentially pull out. Now my knee is hurting, but there is only 8 miles left. There's loads of time. Most people will be walking up Snowdon anyway. I can just hobble down. Okay, there's pit stop 3, and I need to fill up my bag here. I can't go up the mountain without plenty to drink. They'd probably already run out of gin, which is a shame. Pit stops at Ratrace are awesome. That means we're going to join the Watkin Path any minute. The wind is picking up and there's lots of clouds descending quite quickly. I think we're in for a bit of a fun time up Snowdon actually. So the weatherman predicted rain at 1 o'clock. It's 2 minutes past 1 and it's raining. They're good round here. Get it right. Okay, so I am on the Watkin Path now, and it is listed as one of the harder of routes up Snowdon. I think only second to Cribgoch, I think, or maybe third. So what's ahead of me is going to be tiring and probably scary. And because I've got a poorly knee, I'm going up at sort of half speed. Running doesn't feel right anymore. Legs are like jelly. It gets steep really quickly there though. It gets steep really quickly. That's both good in that we get high quick, and bad because we get high quick. Okay, kids, covered this a little bit in my last video. You must do the things you enjoy and enjoy the things you do. Right. Yep. It's happened again. Yeah. Started to talk to marathons, they said. It'd be fun. They said it'd be really rewarding. Fucking hell. Fun times, right? The wind's about to pick up apparently. Might get real bad. As we go over here. This is what we're dealing with right now. It's an awful Saturday, chilling out.
Okay, that way is a hellscape of which I will never want to return. Wowzers, there's going to be some 400 people that come up this way that will have a shared story that they will be able to tell their grandkids one day. Just seeing it. Best thing about Snowdon is you can get a copy at a time. To hear me will be a little bit more as we descend down, I think, the range path, I think Ridgew was aborted in favour of probably a safer plan B. I can see the finish, but it's quite far away. That sunshine is taking the piss, absolutely taking the piss. Oh, I bet there's a great view off the top now. About 2.5k from the finish, just past 32 miles. I'm running behind on time for two reasons. The first reason, I hurt my knee, as you saw earlier. That has just been nagging at me since that fall. Certainly the downs. And my mother-in-law Sharon, because she's a walker, was sort of given a shortcut to the mountain and was on the mountain before me. I caught her up and she wasn't doing very well. The cold and the rain, all of that stuff up there had just left her in a really bad state, and by the time she got to the restaurant on the top, which was nearly shutting, she was looking like she was suffering from hypothermia at that point, or just extreme cold exposure, just being wet through and cold, and the wind coming down wouldn't have done her any good, so she's gone down on the train. So I waited with her, gave her a hot chocolate, bought her some gloves, and I'm going to have to go pick her up in a minute. Okay. It's now relatively peaceful down here compared to up there. Look at it. Look at that monster that is Snowdon. Man, she never fails to impress in all the wrong ways. This has been a day. I thought Scarfell was bad, and it was, but today has been tough, mainly because of the weather and the fall, but I'll be glad when it's done. So this is it, final bit. All of them miles, all of that gradient, all of them hard bits, all of them bad weather bits, all ultimates in this last 100 metres.
So we
Mr. Kirk, put your hands on the GoPro. There we go. Put a big pressure. You just looked like you were aiming for some press-ups.
Just 48 hours ago, I was coming down Moel Eilio and I'd fallen over and hurt my knee. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it all the way round. I had 20 more miles to do and I was in a bit of pain and feeling a bit sorry for myself. But I did. I managed it. I ground it out. But little did I know what was in store for me further around the course later on that day when we started to go up Snowdon itself. This is where the grind really starts, and some of the experiences we had on that mountain will probably stay with a lot of us for a long time. So from my perspective, someone who's just done it, and probably the other 500 people that have just done it, we will appreciate what it's like being lashed by sideways rain, 50-mile-an-hour winds while trying to navigate a ridge in relatively low visibility. It was a tough day, and the weather did add that extra layer of difficulty to it. Obviously, if you're doing this in the future, the weather could be literally anything from heat to snow, and you have to be prepared to pack your bags and clothes accordingly. It was only because I had extra layers, I made a decision to take an extra fleece with me, that I was actually okay, quite comfortable. But where my kit was weak were the gloves. I wish I'd had waterproof gloves. My socks were thin, and so my hands and my feet were freezing cold, numb, and they were in quite a bit of pain. As I went up Snowdon and I was navigating through all of that rain, it was quite clear that lots of people were struggling, and that brings me on to one of the best things about Ratrace: the marshals, the volunteers, and they were everywhere. If you're trying to man a 34-mile course, that takes an enormous amount of manpower to do that. These guys were keeping an eye on you at every decision point, every tricky bit. And that's really good to see. And they were out in that weather as well. They had little tents that they were going to be getting cold just like everyone was. So my hat goes off to every single Ratrace volunteer that were making it safe, making it possible to do that challenge. One of the things I really want to talk about is the Ratracers themselves. You guys, probably the ones that are watching this video. The Ratrace does seem to attract a certain type of person, and everyone that I've met and spoken to have been just lovely. And a side effect of making these videos is people recognise me, and none more so than at this event. I must have been tapped on the shoulder 30 times. I had handshakes and fist bumps and high fives, people saying lovely things about the content that I create. Some people even blame me for them signing up to the event. Sorry guys. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys saying hello to me in that way. It is really friendly thing to do. I get a little bit bashful and shy sometimes, but it's really lovely to hear. What else can we talk about? The trilogy is now done, and it's bittersweet because I'm very glad it's done. It's been a year on the cards, sort of leading up to these 3 events, and it's only been 6 weeks since we took on Nevis. It seems an absurd amount of distance. I added it up. It was 97 miles and 21,000 foot of ascent over these 3 events. So just think about that for a second. That is an enormous amount to get done. So I will be making just one more video where I will be discussing the trilogy, the Ratrace seatosummit series trilogy as a whole. What was done well, what could be made better, just an overall view of all 3 events. So if you're interested as to what that might look like, please give the channel a subscribe and it will tell you when that video is available. If you've got any sort of questions or if you've got any comments about the Snowdon event itself, just pop them down below. I will be happy to reply. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It makes me happy that people appreciate my content, and I love hearing great feedback from people in real life. Thank you. I will see you in my next video or at an event soon. Mart out.